So, as you guys already know, Matt Marks has the distinction of running two different divisions for us. He handles city listings and he handles the beach. So, I thought it might be beneficial to kind of pick your brain, Matt, in a public way on the beach market. So, I guess in general, to get started, what's going on out at the beach?
A lot of activity, a lot of people starting to, plan their trips for the end of the year, for the winter months, in North America, and enjoy the Panamanian summer.
It does work out nicely, doesn't it?
It does. It's perfect for the snowbirds. You come down when the rain stops. Enjoy nice summer months for us, while everyone else is shoveling snow.
Yeah, right. Poor guys. No, the timing couldn't be better as far as the perfect weather in Panama coincides with when it starts getting really nasty in the States and Europe for that matter. So, how is this year different from last year or years past in terms of the market? Are you seeing any new trends right now? Maybe that's new properties, a different kind of buyer. Maybe you can speak a little bit to what's going on with prices right now.
Yeah, so obviously we're still coming out of the pandemic, so it's kind of a weird time. One question that I'm hearing from buyers a lot is how long has this property been on the market, and you just kind of have to explain to them for about a year we were completely shut down. So you have to be careful with how you're asking that question, how you're answering the question. But as far as trends go, as far as pricing goes, we've started to see a little bit of a rebound. Prices are still depressed. It's still a buyer's market, but we're seeing a lot more movement. I've had a few situations where someone was dragging their feet on making an offer. They wait 2 or 3 weeks, and then when they come back to the table, the property is no longer available.
Yeah, that's always fun as a sales guy. It can be a little tricky on the other side of the table. So, well, let's talk about buyers. Like, I mean, historically, people have wanted to come to Panama for the awesome weather, the what politically safe, the nice lifestyle. Panamanians are super great, but what trends are you seeing in terms of why people are coming to Panama?
You know, uh, One thing that they always mention is there's no conversion because we trade in the USD, US dollar. That's something that's very attractive. But I'm also seeing a lot of people realizing after the pandemic that they can become digital nomads. You can work anywhere in the world now thanks to Zoom. Um, so they can come down. I recently had a buyer purchase a property here in the city that he just told his boss after signing the sales contract, hey, by the way, I'm moving to Panama, and it doesn't affect his job at all because he's always working online anyways.
Well, yeah, and we're East Coast time, so until the East Coast changes for daylight savings, but yeah, that makes it easy too. And internet, what's the story with internet out in your area, the beach?
High speed internet, you can get fiber optic in most areas. If not, a very stable high speed internet, no issues as far as connectivity. Doing a Zoom meeting, doing live streams, no issues at all. It's all very high speed.
Okay, cool. So you said a little bit about pricing. It sounds like it's still a buyer's market. What's made it a buyer's market?
We do have a lot of inventory online. That's partly because of developers are still developing new projects, and you do have some people that are saying after the pandemic they want to be closer to family. It was hard to travel back and forth during COVID-19, and they missed family, so they're moving back, and that creates more inventory for us to sell. Also, buyers are coming down here because they've been out. The North American market, Canada, United States, even in Europe, is so overheated. Everything is selling at above asking price. So they're saying, hey, I'm going to go down to Panama where I can negotiate and get 5-10% off of the asking price instead of
Still
paying
get a
full
deal.
price.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So, guys, just a heads up if you're just joining us, I'm Kent, and oh, Matt, we got to turn on your little name tag here.
Uh-oh.
Ta-da! This is Matt. Matt handles the beach and city listings for us, and we don't rehearse this. Matt doesn't know what I'm going to ask. I just try to play, I guess, devil's advocate. What people might be thinking, might want to know about the beach. So let's talk about beach areas. And company philosophy is to not be super salesy. So give it to us straight, Matt. Um, talk about beaches areas, particularly say from your region, which is what, Gorgona to about Buenaventura,
Exactly right. That's kind of the
right?
sweet spot for me.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. What's like, where have you been showing the most? What seems to be the most popular right now?
So it still follows a pretty similar trend to what we've seen in years past, where everyone starts in Coronado because when you start your research in Panama, Coronado comes up. That's expat central.
Sure.
When I have folks coming down here, they ask where should I stay, and I tell them Coronado. That's going to be the bullseye on your dartboard. It puts you 30 minutes away from every other community in each direction. If you're going to go up to El Valle, it's about 30 to 40 minutes. Buenaventura, 30 minutes. So that's a great launching point. What I've been showing a lot of lately is Gorgona. Gorgona is
Yeah.
getting a lot of love. There's some new developments out there. There's some older buildings. There's even single family homes. So it really covers a lot of different areas of the market. And I'm seeing a lot of growth out there. It's just 5 minutes from Coronado. So you still have all the amenities, the shopping, the restaurants, supermarkets, all just 5 minutes away. Gorgona's gotten a lot of love. And also, people are spanning out towards like Vista Mar, Rio Mar, any gated community that's on the water.
Okay, cool. What about construction starts? I mean, it feels like the market, even in Panama City, got overbuilt and has been slowly absorbing some of that inventory. Beach, I would say, is even more exaggerated. But, you know, projects are still selling, developers are still moving units, they're still being somewhat negotiable. They definitely are. Are you seeing any new construction out at the beach?
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That I didn't know that. I haven't
Yeah,
been out for a
there's
while.
and specifically in Buenaventura, they
Oh,
have a
right.
lot of stuff going on there. They have a lot of land, and they're still building it out.
Mm.
Their number one project right now would be Velamar, which is right on the water, right on the beach. Those sold out before they even put a shovel in the ground, so they had to add additional units to the project.
What are those selling for? Approx.
Well, the ones that were selling right on the beach were selling for 2.2 million.
Oh
And
boy.
now the ones that are just off of the beach that are facing the marina are listed for anywhere 750,000 to over a million.
Okay, got it. So larger units. This is like low rise
Exactly
construction.
right. Yeah, these are all going to be like villas.
Okay.
Kind of like a single family home, townhouse style living unit, only 2 floors.
So what's the sweet spot? I mean, Matt, you guys is having one of the best years he's had in a while. Congratulations to you. How would you? What do you say? Kind of the median type of property. Like if you sold 20 this year out at the beach, what would kind of be like the middle kind of sweet spot as far as what people generally are gravitating towards?
Yeah, as far as price point goes, I'd say your average sales around $300,000 to $350,000.
Okay.
The closer you are to the water, obviously that price is going to go up,
Sure.
and depending on the price per square meter. There's a project out the beach, Royal Palm, which I absolutely love. It's built by Burn, right on the
Burn.
water.
Sure.
Their price point starts at 100. Let's see, they have units at $170,000. You're
Bite
looking,
size.
yeah. So it's a smaller unit. The units are only 70 square meters.
Okay, so 300 grand. Let's say I come out there, I got 300K, can I get financing? Like maybe I want to spend 300K, but I only have 100K to put down.
Sure. There's always a few ways that we can work around that with the financing goes. Traditional bank financing is a little harder to come by now, especially
Yeah.
if your income is from overseas. There are still a couple of banks that are working with buyers that have their funds coming from overseas, but it's a little more expensive. Loan to value ratio, they're going to ask for 30% down right off the top, and
Mm.
your interest rate is going to be around 7.25. So it's a little more expensive than what we're used to seeing in the States. Uh,
Okay.
but there's other avenues we can go. If you're working with a developer, some developers are offering financing as low as 4%, and then that's kind of like what you call a bridge loan. It's just a 5-year loan with a balloon payment at the end, or you can do financing with a seller. There's many sellers now that are willing to finance a deal.
Well, the nice thing about that 5-year runway is with the balloon at the end is you kind of become credit worthy so you can get traditional bank financing after that. So, okay, back to my scenario. I got 300 grand. I want to live on the beach. Financing, cool, under control. So where would you typically, what are like 2 or 3 areas you would take me if I want to be on the beach, close to, like fairly close to shops and restaurants? I want a building with some amenities, I'd give me a pool at least. How about a gym? Something like that. How far will my money go for something like that?
Yeah, there's two projects that come to mind right away.
Okay.
I would look at Vista Mar and I would look at Rio Mar. Rio Mar is more of like a resort style community, very small, direct access right to the beach. You're no matter where you are in the project, you're no more than 400 yards from the ocean. So great place to look for if you're looking for a smaller community, and you're not going to be too far. You're only about 10 minutes from Coronado. The other one I really love is Vista Mar because it offers a little more for everyone. They've got an enormous marina. You'll see some beautiful, beautiful sailboats out there. And then a great, great, great restaurant bar at the end of the pier that has some amazing views right out in the middle of the ocean is what it feels like. You're looking out towards the marina and then back towards the community. And it's got an 18-hole golf course. So it has all those great amenities for whatever you're looking for.
And they're both about what, 20 minutes from Coronado,
Exactly.
approx?
Even less than that. You're probably there in about 10 minutes.
So, okay. I remember, and it's been a while since I've been out to Vistamar. Vistamar felt a little kind of quiet. Like I would go and I'd be like, what's going on out here? Like, does anybody live here? Obviously, we know that's not the case, but has it filled in? Like, are you seeing more full-time residents out there after COVID? I know a couple people who moved there full-time that still have a place in the city, but they're just like, now we live at the beach now.
Yeah, you're seeing more full-time residents in general in all of the communities, but you are going to see a huge difference from the weekend to weekdays.
Still.
Yeah, the Panamanian lifestyle. A lot of people choose to live and work in the city during the week, and then on Friday you see a mass exodus of everyone going to their beach homes.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. I mean, hashtag good living, right?
That's right.
Okay, so what else might people want to know about the beach market? Guys, I mean, you feel free to comment. We always like to know where you're watching from. Most people end up watching this kind of after we go live, but beach market, what is your favorite project right now? What are you showing the most? Is it Royal Palm, you think, or something in Buenaventura?
Royal Palm is always popular with investors and with people just trying to, get a nice home out in Panama because of the price point. Anytime you can have a property that's under $200,000, it's going to attract a lot of interest from buyers internationally and people that are looking just for an investment that they can rent out on the weekends. Bihao is a great, great project. It's pretty much built out. You don't have anything new really going on there. Hey, look at that. So Bihao is wonderful because it does have that nice 9-hole golf course. And then, an awesome beach club. It tends to skew a little more towards the Panamanian market.
Yeah.
Since they don't allow short-term renters to come into that community. Another great community that I really, really like showing is Buenaventura. It's ultra luxury. It's considered probably one of the nicest, gated communities in the area. And it has something to offer for every single person in the family, from an equestrian club for to ride horses, the Nicholas 18-hole golf course, probably one of the nicest courses in in Panama, spa. You have everything, and then beach clubs with restaurants. You even have a hotel on site. So if you do have guests coming and you like your privacy, you could put them up in the hotel.
Yeah, no, Buenaventura's, gated community, right? So you're going to have, like Matt said, a little bit of everything, pretty broad. So Petitsi, I'll take that one. Petitsi's interesting. Petitsi's a small town, right? It's about 5 hours from Panama City. So it's a bit of a hike. There's a great expat community out there, and they've got something for everyone too, in terms of, property options. So yeah, let's see. What else can we talk about as far as, I had a question. Airbnb. So I know in the city, and I kind of know the answer, but people probably want to know, how does Airbnb work out at the beach? Are people doing it successfully?
Very much so. Now you have to keep in mind the beach is still very seasonal. So your busy season is going to be November when the Panamanian holidays fall, and then all the way through to about March, when until the end of the rainy season, and when the winter comes, or when the winter leaves, North America, and all the snowbirds start returning home. Now we have seen a bit of a shift in that, though. It's not as dramatic as it was before the pandemic, because you're starting to get digital nomads that are traveling year round. So they will go out to the beach, love to work on your patio while overlooking the ocean. So there has been a little bit of a shift.
Right on. Yeah. So I'll take Al Kubo. Thank you, Al, for your question. What do you consider a good investment for a jubilado visa couple which relies on Social Security? I mean, depends on how you plan on using the property, right? If you want to have it just a pure investment property, then just look at the numbers. It's I would probably say get something smaller, right? Like 1 to 2 bedroom on the water that maybe doesn't have a lot of competition. I think the key in renting, being successful in Airbnb, is knowing their algorithm and doing everything right, responding quickly, having great pictures, publishing a floor plan, obviously soliciting reviews, giving reviews to people. Airbnb kind of pressures users to provide a review if they know that they've already been reviewed. It's brilliant. Um, so yeah, Matt, what would you add to a good investment out at the beach?
Um, you know, that's, you have to be realistic with what kind of returns you're going to be looking at. If you think you're going to come down here and you're expecting, a 10-15% return, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
What we're seeing mostly is 3 to 4%. If you've got if you're very hands-on, you don't need a property manager, you may be able to bump that up to 6%. So you have to be really realistic in what you're looking for. Love the idea of Royal Palm again. It's a lower price point, and they do encourage Airbnb, short-term rentals. There's a handful of property managers that can handle everything for you over there. But just realize, it's more about mitigating the cost of ownership if you're going to be using the property yourself.
Yeah, so that probably also acknowledges, Al, your clarification, in terms of investment to buy and live. We always tell folks the best thing to do is come on down, talk to expats, and ask them what they don't like about Panama, because everybody's the first person to tell you, oh, the weather and the cost of living and the culture and the this and the that. But what do you miss? What do you miss about your home country? What do you wish you would have known before you went down there? Those kind of things to sort of brace you for the downside, because this is life. Matt, what are you
Yeah,
saying?
and to expand upon that, I always encourage people to come down here for a couple weeks and bounce around a little bit. Don't just stay
Sure.
in one neighborhood, because these neighborhoods, each of them just have their own personality, and that applies to the beach and the city. Bay Vista in the city is completely different from what you would experience in San Francisco, which would be completely different from Casco Viejo. And then again, out to the beaches, Coronado is, you're going to have a much heavier, a much larger expat community than you're going to see over at Playa Blanca,
Viejo.
Buenaventura.
Sure. Yeah, no, exactly. So if you need to be around a lot of English speaking people, you might gravitate towards Coronado. Although, I think we would both agree that there are English speakers. And, if you own a property in Bijao or Buenaventura, odds are that you've traveled around. Maybe you speak a second language. That second language might be English. So, it's not impossible to be able to converse in a lot of languages out at the beach, right? And Matt, what else can we add? Living housekeeper common in Panama for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are those? What would you say those are going for out at the beach these days, Matt? Maybe a lady that's going to stay and go home on Sundays.
Well, yeah, living out of the beach, you don't see as many live-in maids or live-in housekeeper, but you're still looking probably around between $500 to $600 a month. Very similar to what you're going to see here in the city.
Yeah. Oh, that's not paying them very much. We always paid ours a little more. Like I think she's at like 700 or 800. But anyway, that all depends on how big the place is and how much
And
she's
how many
and
kids?
then how many kids you got. No, yeah, exactly. Like if they're staying the night or not.
Right.
Because sometimes staying the night is considered a benefit, right? Because you don't have to have rent, but other times no. So well, guys, Matt's got to go back out selling. I got to go back out and do what I do. And so hopefully you found this helpful. Matt, thanks for making the time, man.
Hey, my
And
pleasure, Ken. Thanks for
this
having me.
this guy over here is an expert. So if you need anything beach related, buy, sell, rent, or just get some advice, Matt at Panama Equity, Matthew at PanamaEquity.com. I'm Kent at PanamaEquity.com, or just pop on over to our website. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, have a